than the mainland Central America. That's what emerged like 30 million years in between Granoland, which was where we had North America and South America. And it separated and had a path from the Atlantic to the Pacific. And in the middle is where Central America emerged, and then you're going to have Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Salvador, and Costa Rica. And Costa Rica is what Christopher Columbus called this country. And our capital is San Jose. And which is the capital from Puerto Rico? San Juan. So it's a little confusing. And you know why he called this country Costa Rica?
It's on the coast.
Which means rich coast. And Puerto Rico means rich port. No idea what the riches they find at that port. Why they call it Puerto Rico. But I know the riches they find at this country that they call it Costa Rica. Anyone have any idea which of the riches they find here? Riches. You don't know? Really? Pardon? Spices, coffee. We're going to speak about this coffee and spices and so forth. Look at this supermarket. You see the name? It's called Más por Menos. You know what Más por Menos means? More for less. You pay more and you get less. Yeah, that's how it is. You thought you were going to pay less and get more. No way they're going to give you that deal. Coming up on the right, we have the second church that was established in Puerto Limon. See what church it was? Methodist Church. Which was the first church? If the history was true,
You into that?
it should be Catholic.
Yeah, that is going to stuck head stuck
But
up his ass.
the history is not many times like what we think it is. Christopher Columbus came here in 1502 and he returned to Spain and told his queen that he did find the richest area from the Indies, because he told her that he was going to reach to the Indies, so he didn't need to bring supply with him. He bring enough to reach to the Indies. Guessing the time he was going to take to reach to the Indies. When he reached to this island, just in front of where your ship is, he told them to drop him off there and he was going to go and explore. And he came across, and then when he reached to the other side, he said, oops. He realized that it was an island, and he called it Cariay. And went back to his ship and came to the main port, or into just on the left hand side of where your ship is. And then he realized that that was the mainland, and he called it Kiribri. Cariay, wet and dry. Kiribri, big garden. This we have here are a lot of reef that was exposed with the earthquake in 1991. We had a serious earthquake that the platform were broken and emerged more than a meter. went down more than a meter. The seawall right here, when we were kids, I used to walk along here with my brothers, and what you'd like to do and where you'd like to visit. And if you're going to rent a car, make sure that if you want to see the sea turtles, you want to see jaguar, you want to see monkeys, sloths, iguanas, and so forth, you can go to the North Caribbean, which is where we have more than 4% of the flora and fauna from the world. We have 6% in Costa Rica, and in that area, more than 4%. But we don't have no road to go to that area. The nearest and the fastest would be by airplane from San Jose to the east coast, the northeast coast, or by boat for 3 to 4 hours by boat from where the bus would leave you. No, that's why they call it Costa Rica. You know how much riches or how much money coming to Costa Rica today from those 3 ships? A lot. How much are the ships? How many of we all guide, drivers, and all who involved in tourism will be making, everyone making at least a good mouthful to take home and give their families and maintain their families. And that's the riches. After 1985, we get to realize that Christopher Columbus said that he find the richest area of the Indies, but it wasn't Indies, natives used to live here. But he said Indies because he were going to the Indies, looking at new journey to the Indies, so he said they were Indians. And after 1985, tourism turned out to be our main income. Even we get our independence in 1821 from Spain. And after 1821, 1824, Costa Rica had to try to farm their own government and try to find a way to make a living farming haciendas or sharing with different families around and trade whatever they used to grow or produces in the forest. If you grow rice, I grow beans, next one grow corn, next one grow banana or grow cassava or grow cattle, grow chicken, and then we share, and what leave over we trade it with our neighborhood. And that's how they started to grow coffee, and coffee turned out to be our major income. More than 350 years, this area were abandoned by Costa Rica because of the dense forest that we have, and they didn't able to come here through the snakes, spider, scorpion, mosquitoes, all these different creatures that in there, and then had a road. And 1870 is when Minor Cooper signed a contract with the government to come to Puerto Limon and make a railroad to go to San Jose, and that way able to bring the coffee from San Jose to Limon and take it from Limon to UK and to US, because they had to take it from San Jose to the Pacific, and they used to take it in ox car. It used to take up to 2-3 months. When it reached to the west coast, they had to put it into a ship, take it around Chile, Peru, Argentina to the Atlantic, and the same they used to find tropical storm, hurricane, and so forth. So they used to lose a lot of whatever they used to bring in. it was much easier to bring it during the dry season through the railroad to Limon and wait after the winter over, which is going to be ending of March, April, take it to US, sell some in US and to UK. And now, this is one of the important seaports that we have in Central America, and is the one that more than 80% of whatever agriculture coming from South America will come through the Pacific to Punta Arenas, and then to Limon through the highway, and from Limon to US, Canada, Europe, and even Asia. And we're going to pass the two major ports. That's all these different agriculture that you get from other countries will reach to your country pretty soon. So, unfortunately, it's been getting worse and worse. And all these little villages that we're going to find, going to pass through, will have a little school. Every little village. For every 1,000 kids, there should be a school. And there should an elementary school and a high school. If there are more than 1,500 kids, there should be 2 schools. So we have more than 6,750 elementary schools in Costa Rica. That's right. And we only have 5 million people living in Costa Rica. 1,800,000 is considered native Costa Rican. And like 1 million would be the kids from foreigners that born in Costa Rica. And in foreigners we have Nicaraguans mainly, Colombian, Panamanian, and people from US, from Germany, and so forth. Even building the railroad, they had to bring laborers into Limon from where you thought they brought them? Chinese, 200, German, 200, Italian, 200, and that's when they had the first strike in 1872. And then, because they had problem with malaria and yellow fever, and then they decided to bring Afro-Caribbean from Haiti, Jamaica, and all those islands in the Caribbean, because the problem with the strike was because they didn't able to have good communication between the who hired them used to speak English, and the Chinese speak Chinese, the Italian, the German, so they were in communication, and they wanted insurance for make sure that their family would get something if they pass by with these different diseases.